72% of all bird mortalities in the US are the direct result of domestic and feral cats. And a further 25% were the result of collisions with buildings and vehicles. And 2% were the result of poisons, and that wasn't broken out by household, industrial, or agricultural. Essentially, 97% of all those bird mortalities were associated with two factors: cats and collisions.
There's a whole lot of things that are coming out of the AI Farms Institute here at the U of I. And one of those that's being tested right now, a lot of farmers may have heard about Chat GPT, an AI tool that you can talk to and help get answers from. But our team has come up with something called CropWizard, which uses a Chat GPT type interface where you can ask it questions, agricultural questions. You can put in pictures of weeds or bugs or things, and it'll, in addition to trying to identify, it'll look up resources about how to control, do a whole, and come up with recommendations.
What's your vision for the future of your company? I mean, like, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Yeah, so our objective is by the end of 2028 to be in 100 countries. We've also developed a infant formula as well. So we've got a flavored range. So we've got our Maisley Original, a flavored range. We've done a custard and an eggnog. But we've also done an infant formula. And the genesis of the infant formula was really off the back of my previous experiences. I spent a lot of time in West Africa, East Africa, and Southern Africa.
Did you come to a conclusion on why agriculture became the easy target and, the misattribution of the use of the pesticides and what they were doing?
There's several reasons for that, to be honest. I mean, it's just an easily exploited legal construct, and that's primarily due to the citizen suit provisions under both the Federal Insecticide, Fungicide, Rodenticide Act, FIFRA, as well as the Endangered Species Act, ESA. You've got biological plausibility because, the number of the target receptors that are present in the pest are also present in non-target organisms. And you've also got sort of a dubious historical context. If you think about Silent Spring, DDT, organochlorines, it's sort of a tainted past.
And I'm also curious, you're making Indiana your headquarters, but you also said you're launching globally. So will all of your milk be produced in Indiana or in other locations as well?
So because of corn being so abundant and it's available everywhere, we will be producing close to our markets wherever we open up. But with Indiana, obviously there's a lot of corn out of Indiana, and our key supplier, two of our key suppliers, one is in Indiana, the other in Illinois. So that's very useful for us for the US market. But also, from an international perspective, it's a lot easier to grow the business based out of the US and drive the business internationally from here.
Or is there anything else that you just think is really important to your job in AI and the future of AI in farming?
I think it's something that that farmers need to be aware of. It's going to be integrated into equipment. It's going to be integrated into other systems and programs that are being sent to farmers. I think, like the CropWizard, one of the things you have to be cautious of is what is the source material behind that, and how is it making that decisions.
What kind of corn draw, like how much corn do you think you'll be requiring when you get to stage 1 or 2 or whatever your growth projection is?
Yes, so we use 5% or 5.5% of our ingredient in the 100%, which obviously is largely water as well, is corn. So for every gallon you got 5% is going to be 5.5% will be corn. The exciting part for us is how it's been accepted everywhere we're going. So because we're the world's first corn-based milk, we want to make use of our first move advantage. So we're looking at rolling this out universally as swiftly as we can. And for that, we're partnering with various licensees around the world.
One of the big things, and some of the folks may have seen it at some field days, are our small robots that we're using to plant cover crop seeds. That's a big project that's expanding rapidly with the iCover grant, and we'll see more of that, being able to get out these robots that can automatically run up and down corn rows throwing out cover crop seeds in late August and early September, so the cover crop gets a jump on its growth before the crops are even harvested. So it gives us an option of some different species of cover crops as well, instead of just cereal rye, which is what most of the cover crop goes on as. But this going out early gets us an earlier seeding date with some more options.
That the data indicate that pesticides are not the primary driver for species decline. In fact, they're a micro scale contributor to a macro scale problem.